Hey, we're maybe live. Let me check on my own channel. Let's update this. All right, if you are, oh, I can't see it. Just give it a second. It would be in live section. Okay, I can see it now. There's also my own voice, which is terrible. But yeah, let me really quick fix the elevation of this uh, camera because I want it to work better to be able to see my typing keys. So, if you don't know me, my name is Xavier Schwindt. I'm a science fiction fantasy writer, and I wanted to do a live stream really quickly because the only time I've gone live on this channel so far has been like to do a little fun. I think it was a writing project where I tried to write a book in 7 days, which I did, but like I didn't live stream or like make a video about it for some reason. But school's almost wrapped up because the end of the year. Man, my hand is bright with direct sunlight there. It's like radiance. Um, so I wanted to go ahead and maybe like do a live stream where we just do a Q&A. Man, what is up with that lighting? It's a terrible camera too. Where we just go ahead and maybe do a Q&A if anyone wants to hop on and join or ask any questions at any time. But at the same time, this is just a great way for if you've never done a live stream on YouTube or like Twitch or anything, it's also a great way for you to go ahead and man, that light is really, really bad. But do accountability for studying. So I wanted to do a little bit of a study while I do a wrap up and ramble of kind of what I've been doing throughout the year, what I've been trying to achieve, what I achieved, and what next year's projects are probably going to look like. And yeah, there's quite a bit of things that we can definitely talk about with this. So feel free to ask any questions. And also, yeah, I think a lot of this will be devoted to maybe talking about coming clear with a little bit of the company stuff while also studying. And I got some coffee. I did have some puppy chow, but that's all gone now. So um, yeah, I'm just gonna be studying. Feel free to ask any questions at any point. It's just a good way to gather accountability while studying. And yeah, Q&A, ramble time. I'll probably go over my interactive fiction project I did with the company as our first project. I'll go over some of that probably near to the end. I have about 25 minutes to do this, so locking in real quick, and I will put on some. I don't know if any of you follow the Cajun Koi YouTube channel, but I'll put on some of their study music and start a Pomodoro timer. I don't know if you can hear that. Just comment if that's really good. Let's see. Okay, let's give me a sec. Oh, sweet. I will just proceed to. Sorry, I'm on watching myself. So weird. Okay, yeah, I'll jump right into this. I'll do a Pomodoro session. Maybe focusing on end of semester right now. So I know, goody goody. Hey, how's you? I don't know. What time is it for your like time change over there? It's always interesting to see how the world changes, how time changes. It's kind of like a interstellar with jet lag, but not quite. AM or PM? PM. Okay, sweet. It is 11:28 here, so AM, not PM. There's incredible bright daylight. If you don't know, if you're watching this in the future, or to those who might watch this in the future, check out the first comment that was in this stream. Head over to that channel, because it's a wonderful channel, has some really good writing stuff. I know I don't know if actually he's good about me talking about this, but I'll reach out to him over email after this. But yeah, the channel has been featured on Jed Hearn, so go check the first comment channel out. I'll try to pronounce it here, but I'm probably gonna brutally destroy the pronunciation if I say it out loud. So I'll try to scan it. Jesse Newman. Okay, I think that's the channel name. If you don't, go check that out. It's a wonderful channel. Yeah, I do have half the day left, so sweet. Oh, yeah. I think you were over on the it was the video of um I think it was the get ahead of 99% of writers in 6 to 12 months. It's the easy writing habits, the course like commentary. It counts as a featuring, I guess. That's actually really funny. You should go watch that video. It's yeah, uh, 'cause I assume you probably remember filming the review of it, right? That's funny. He actually just put out it's not out yet. He did uh, his writing competition for, like, world building. That had me really pumped. My submission was terrible, but, like, yeah, Jed's a fun guy. I've chatted with him over email, and he's really gracious and gives you all sorts of tips for, like, your channel, which is was really, really nice, especially for me when I had only a couple of videos. Right now, I'm kind of trying to go through and I'm actually setting off. I had a really cool writing opportunity where an editor is asked where is going to use some of my chapters in like a writing course. Um, and I went through and asked like when would be a good time to maybe like mess with some querying stuff. And so we're talking about maybe doing like an assessment of querying, like building a query letter and fixing like with a professional edit the manuscript, but like I have a deadline that is way too it's encroaching way too quickly. And so I need to distract them, but I also haven't sent the full like save the cat outline to them yet. So that's what I'm working on kind of at the moment a little bit. Have any of you guys used the save the cat like Snyder save the cat writes a novel or screenwriting formula? I just find save the cat to be such like a really useful. Obviously, I don't really like the system of, like, percentiles too much where it's like, this is the percentile where in the story, you're hitting your catalyst right here. This is your intro. This is your intro continued. This is your setup. I'm not a huge fan of like the percentiles, but at the same time, I find it super, super useful for hitting all of those beats at the same point and like not necessarily following it when I'm actually writing, but actually using it to articulate my thoughts on like the themes, like the thesis world, like the world before the departure and the break into two, or the midpoint, and then the antithesis, like the shattered world of like where they can't handle it, and then of where they can't deal with the world the same way they did in the thesis world, and then the transferring over into the synthesis world, which is the third world, I think, where it's like using a new process to deal with it in the right way, which I thought is super really it's just so useful when you're trying to go through and write something as monumental as a novel, which is a skill that you'll have for the rest of your life. It's still hard, so it's super useful. All right, I'm going to go through really quickly, and I'm going to um, talk a little bit about a project I failed really terribly that on. Um, yeah, exactly. The balance and rules that the save the cat method kind of gives you, and I do love how like save the cat generates reader sympathy a lot of the time. So I'm going to share my screen in a second and show you guys one of the projects that I did recently that totally flopped. So if you don't know, I started a publishing company recently, um, and it's kind of just something where it's just for me to do an indie press of kind of some of my books and a lot of the stuff in my universe, and working together with a team to mitigate and manage my time a little bit better because that is something I am terrible at. And at the same time, I do have a project that we're going to be launching next year, which is called something around the Young Artists Organization, where it's kind of a magazine where it's giving young artists the experience and inspiration to keep going by getting published at a young age, and interacting with simulated professional industry with trad publishing and indie publishing as well as kind of not necessarily just written word but also artwork, where it's a magazine and they get they get the interaction and hopefully inspire them to keep going in that manner. But another project we tried to do recently is kind of like a jumping in and doing a really quick Kickstarter with our closing of this year, and we ended up having one of the writers drop and the game developer on the project, because I was overworking them. I'm not used to working with a team very much, so that was completely my bad. But I do want to go over and look at this a little bit, and see what we can do to really improve it in the future. But anyways, the pitch for this is it's kind of like it's an interactive fiction game. It's kind of typical of our space. I was inspired by Siege of Trebelon, definitely, but the idea was actually when I was in fifth grade, I wrote. I did sorry, I didn't write. I read a really really fun Star Wars interactive fiction. It was like you could be a apprentice. You journey from youngling to apprentice. It was really really fun to read, and to choose what's going on. And I think life's really important that same way where it's like making decisions impactfully and how it really impacts your life experience. And so I really wanted to do one of these projects just because it was something I could do to grow a little bit closer to my team, learn how to manage them. And it was kind of a hectic project to try and do. And I probably shouldn't have endeavored to do something quite so crazy, where it was like going to be a almost 90K project, like a couple months, which is, 90K is not too much. I have to write that in the next like 2 weeks for my deadline. But like with the team, it was really, really hectic and work than I thought, even if you're like spending 5 hours a month on just meeting with your team, talking it over, plus that, you know. But what I really figured out was that like it, it's a really good encapsulation of some of the human spirit and like choices are really important. So like why not show like in the experience of books, it's exploring the human condition and kind of asking the question, what would you do if in this situation? Asking the question of what is humanity in this situation? And so with interactive fiction, it lets you do that like in a first-hand way. I wouldn't want to write too much interactive fiction, but that's something that I found really, really enjoyable to do like once or twice. And so the idea was like, what if you were Oppenheimer or Paul Atreides, and you learned that like you had just kind of taken out, yeah, you gave them atomic power. You started a jihad, and like so many lives are on your hands, but blood is on your hands, kind of. And then you go to a point where it's, uh, yeah, it's a lot. It's like at this point, I had 2 weeks, and now it's a little bit less. But at the same point, it's kind of I have no idea how I'm gonna hit that deadline. I think I'm gonna have to submit like the manuscript in 2 parts and really communicate well with the editor. But anyways, the prompt for the interactive fiction was um, I think it was a little bit more like the elevator pitches. What if you are Paul Atreides or Oppenheimer and you gave these powers, these world-ending powers, and like so many lives lost at your hands, and then you were cloned and you wake up as a clone with no memory and you got this legacy behind you that you're discovering as you go along and dealing with it. You need to become a new you, like giving that name your own name, this power bringer, a different meaning, a new legacy, or following through with it and coming back again. That was kind of the prompt. So I'll just share a picture of some of this in a second. I'm gonna keep typing that as there's not it. Um, yeah, anyone used Twine interactive fiction before? It's kind of fun to like just view it. You could even do this for like normal. I've done this for some outlines where you can just like click through it and see what's happening. Um, yeah, it's kind of nice. Stop. Let me zoom out. It's not nice. So here's the first. Let me see if I can just get a full screen into this. So here's the first of my Fusion Koi factors that go up. So oh, Goosebumps. I haven't played any of those, but yeah. So here's the kind of the big this way, yes, gesturing this way. Here is the kind of one of the home pages, and it gives a lot of. This is literally just like the opening, and it was going to be a first chapter, which we were going to give away to our kind of our readership and to our email list for free as a reader magnet, and to be kind of like a OCS, like judging our uh, not an OCS, I guess, judging our readership's intrigue just of a project like this and like giving away on Kickstarter, like here's 30 minutes of playtime, have fun with it, and see if you invest in this project and product, and we'll send you the full project. We'll send you the full one in like a month after we fund, hopefully. It's gonna be really, really small, like a small funding goal as well. But this is only about like the first 20,000 words of it. And I wrote this is my draft, not even my team's drafts. And they wrote another like 10,000 put together, I think. Although one of our writers did do like 10,000 on their own. But this is all mine. This is the one of the larger sections that took this section here is the one that really took forever. And this is a lot of world building exposition. Um, oh yeah, sorry about the audio. It's probably my let me just mute this music because that is probably the reason why it's fading in and out. But this was primarily just like literally you wake up in the pod and you're out of the pod at like this point over here. and then you're already like almost 5,000 words in, and you're hardly out of the cryogenic pod, which was really poorly done on my part, and I need to fix this. But like, if you want this project at some point, we're gonna put it up as a reader magnet, just like the first. Oh, sweet God, it's better now. Okay, we're gonna put up this kind of first chapter. It's gonna be 30 minutes of playtime. This is not finished quite yet, so I need to add about like 5,000 words to it, and end the chapter out kind of on a cliffhanger that's kind of fun. And then we'll give that away on our email list as something that is kind of a little bit more experimental of a reader magnet, hopefully. But I do want to really quick. I will show you guys a. We are working on the cover right now because this project, as I said, we kind of abandoned it because we lost our game developer and one of our lead writers on it because I had overworked them and I did wasn't managing them very well. But we are working on the cover for the reader magnet version right now, and talking it through with our team a little bit. But let me pull that up and I'll show you one of our drafts really quickly. I'll do a video on actually working with like getting cheap but professional covers. Oh, sorry, yeah. But uh, we worked with Get Covers, the company, and so I want to just show you really quick something that we've been working with them to do, and I'll put a video out on like the process of working with cover designers a little bit because it's more infuriating than I would have thought, but they are lovely people. Let me see, man. Okay, here we go. Well, actually, not open it there. Let's open it. Oh, that didn't work. Sorry. Okay. Man, I'm trying to figure this out. It's not working very well. Okay. Um, Sweet. We wanted to do something a little bit more like the covers that were being done. Kind of, if any of you have seen the cover of, um, oh, there we go. That worked. Okay, sweet. If any of you have seen the cover for Legion by Brandon Sanderson, I just got it for. Hopefully, I won't say that. I won't say it because I some of the people I got the book for are coming for Christmas. But um, the we wanted a little bit more mirror effect because this is like all about your different personalities in the game. Let me change the place I am sharing. But this is kind of one of the covers we developed really, and this is a really rough version because like we want a little bit more highlight on the clothing. We want to make look like they're not bald, give it a little bit more vibrance. But I do love these grayscale contrasts. But yeah, that's kind of the cover we've been working on a little bit. Um, yeah, I guess I need to probably wrap this live stream up a little bit. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. It was fun chatting. Oh, you've seen that cover. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, okay. I will be doing a lot more live streams as I do like that 90,000 word draft, like hyper draft, speed draft, I guess. So I'll be doing that like probably one almost a day just to pump it out and trying to get as much done as possible. So yeah, thank you guys for coming and yeah, blessings.